Live. Hey, all righty. We are live, guys. Happy Sunday. I want to welcome you all to my very first masterclass on mind and body transformation. So, Renee, I'm just going to pin myself here so that when it records, you just see what. Oh, someone's waiting. Hold on. Someone meeting is now streaming live. Oh, remove pin. Okay, never mind. See, I'm all new to this whole Zoom with letting people in. Normally people just flow in. So I have to keep my eyes at the top. All righty. So I decided to come up with this masterclass because I have had so much growth in my business. And really quick, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and who I am and why I decided to do this and all that great stuff. I am Stars Tina, otherwise known as Tina, and I am a mind and body transformation coach. Fitness is my passion. I love fitness. Everything I do has to do with fitness. And my purpose is to change the world one woman at a time. Now, I currently run an online fitness boutique studio, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today, how I grew my business by 500%. And I didn't realize this until I started making goals for this year. Like, kind of, okay, where am I? Where did I come from? And I was like, oh my gosh, I've grown a lot. So it all began during COVID. All right. We know what happened during COVID, right? Everything kind of shut down. I'm a fitness professional and I would teach classes at different gyms. I'd do personal training. I'd sometimes go to people's houses. I'd be at like 5 or 6 different gyms, maybe 7 or 10, because I taught at New York Sports Club. I taught at 3 different yoga studios. I also taught at 5 different spin studios because I would sub and all that stuff. But I loved fitness, guys. And then when COVID came, everything just shut down. It was just like, boom. And I was like, whew. But I was so lucky that one of my clients owned a nonprofit and she wanted to keep her people exercising. So she hired me to teach fitness classes 3 times a week. I said, no, I'll do 4. So I taught Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday classes. And I did it for a month and not too many people came. I had like my religious 3 to 4 people and other people would sprinkle in. And then the second month I did it again. And she was like, Tina, this is great. We love you, but it's just not paying off with the money wise. But the people that were taking classes said, you know what? We want to stay. So I began, let's say March, April, May, let's say May, June of 2020. And that's when I actually began my online fitness boutique studio. I really didn't realize what I was doing. It just kind of fell into my hands. And mind you, I was used to teaching 20 classes before COVID. Boom, COVID hit and I was just doing regular stuff. So let's fast forward a year after COVID happened. I started getting more clients, guys. It was amazing. I was on Zoom, just like this, teaching my classes, word of mouth. People are coming because everyone's stuck in the house, right? And then people were able to go back to the gyms and my business kind of went down. And I can't tell you how many times I wanted to quit. So many times I wanted to quit, but I was like, no, there were those hardcore people that would come to classes every day and they'd be posting on social media. And I was like, okay, you got to stick in it with them. And I probably honestly wasn't even making any money, but my heart, like I said, my passion is here. And then let's fast forward to, I guess last year, August. Yes, I'll go back to August. And I attribute a lot of my success to one particular client. And this client turned from a client to a friend, to an assistant, to a business partner, just kind of like all intertwined. And I am going to speak about her and have her speak just a bit. But today I'm going to tell you how I grew my business by 500%. So tip number 1 is super simple, guys. Don't quit. If you have a dream, if you have a goal that you want to do, don't quit no matter what. If you're not making any money, just if it's here and you believe in yourself, you can actually do it. Apps are accessing your meeting. Someone wants to come in. Wendy's coming. Yay! Hi, Wendy. Welcome. Hi, Wendy. So today I'm giving you 7 tips on how I grew my business by 500%. And I'm sure there's one thing that you can gain from this meeting. So the first thing is decide not to quit, no matter what it is. If it's losing weight, if it's running a business, say, I'm not going to quit no matter what. If you're not making money, if you don't see any progress, because guess what, guys? We're always making progress, whether you realize it or not. You're moving it forward. Tip number 2, make a plan of what you want to do and write it down. Put it on Post-its. I do vision boards all the time. And on my vision board, I said, well, I want X amount of instructors. I want X amount of classes. And guess what? It happened. But I kept pushing through, even though things were kind of not so positive. So tip number one, decide not to quit. You're not quitting no matter what. Tip number two, make a plan. What is it that you want? And I wanted, in my mind, I said, okay, I'm gonna have the best online fitness studio there was. And I actually wanted to upgrade the appearance of how I showed up on social media, because I would just post a picture and say, go to Zoom. And there was this company called Moxie. They did, again, this was all during COVID, and Moxie, they were beautiful. I love them. They featured us. They'd record the classes so you could see them later. And then I started getting more people, but then Moxie started getting kind of greedy. And let's just say the way they were taking clients and taking money, it just did not work out. So I went back to Zoom. So that was tip number two, have a plan. Tip number three, guys, consistency. Consistency is key no matter what you're doing in life. As I said, everything I do just kind of goes back to fitness, to weight loss, to any goals that you want. And I wanted to grow my business. So I said, Tina, you got to show up. No ifs, no ands, no buts. If I'm going on vacation, guess what? My computer's coming with me. My ring light's going with me. I am doing classes no matter what. Now, some things do come up, and I would either find someone to sub the class for me, or maybe I would record a class and say, okay, guys, go on YouTube and watch the video. But just being consistent with every single thing. Again, no excuses. And that's how I came up with my tagline. No excuses, I am amazing, which leads into one of my other tips. But before I get to that next tip, because right now we're talking about consistency, right? Making sure everyone around you is consistent, keeping everyone accountable. And I knew for me, when I showed up, people were coming and I was there. I was like, okay, boom, boom, boom. I don't see you in class. Where are you? Where are you? And then they would show up. So that's tip number three, consistency. Number three, guys, and this one is so super important. I should have said this higher on the scale of things that you want to do to grow your business. What is your why? Why do you want to grow your business? Is it to make more money? Is it to help and support people? Is it to look good on social media? There's no right, there's no wrong. But for me, deep down, my reasoning for wanting to grow my business was to help and support other women. All right. If you know anything about my story, I used to be over 200 pounds. I'm not saying I was miserable. I just was like not that happy with where I was in life. Okay. There were all different sizes in the closet, and the lowest size I've ever been in my life before my fitness journey was a 9'10". I had never seen anything below a 9'10". Like when I was in high school, you have those kitty sizes, and then it's like I jumped, boop, right over to the 9'10". I didn't know any other sizes. And then when I started my fitness journey, pretty much my mom said, Tina, you're gaining some weight there. And I was just like, really? And then I remember I went shopping for the first time because my daughter was like, Mom, you look crazy. Your clothes are all big. So we went to the store and the lady said, what size are you? And I was like, I don't know, 9'10". And my daughter's like, no, it was 7'8". And they were like, 5'6". And I said, well, just for the fun of it, I think it was a 4. Yes. I said, just for the fun of it, I was trying a 4. I think I was in the Limited. I don't know if you've ever been to the Limited. I think that's the name of the store, or New York and Company. One of the two. I don't know. But anyway, I kept trying on the clothes. And then when I got to the smallest one, the 4, it actually fit. I was like, oh my gosh. And there was no chub hanging over on the side. I was very lean because at that point I was lifting a lot of weights. The point is, my why when I first began on my fitness journey was to look good. I wanted to fit the clothes, feel sexy, all that good stuff. But as time went on and I kept teaching and I kept learning new different things, because nutrition was something super important to me, I realized my true why in regards to why I got into fitness had nothing to do with me wanting to look good. It went deeper than that, guys. My father was 49 years old when he died of a massive heart attack in his sleep. Now, looking at him, you'd say, oh, he's a construction worker, he's fit, he's awesome, but obviously he's not. So that was one of the reasons why I really, really want to help other women. My grandmother died at a super young age. And many people, women, friends, family that I see are just unfit, high blood pressure, cholesterol levels that are out of the whack, diabetes. So that's one of the main reasons. So once you realize your why, when it comes to your business, it makes it so much easier. And I say your why should be so big, it makes you want to cry. All right. I even go even deeper than that, guys. When you're doing something and you're writing your goals and everything like that, you should not be able to achieve your goals by yourself. You know, it's like you have to, God help me, or maybe you need other people. That's how big they should be. So that is tip number 4, guys. What is your why? Look at my girl Wendy. Thank you for letting me see your face, mama. So yeah, guys, what is your why in regards to why you want to grow your business? Tip number 5, attitude, attitude, attitude. I always say the amount of money you want to make for that year is directly related to your attitude, okay? Attitude is 95%. Always, always, always up, 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 up. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have great days all the time. I do have bad days. I have not so good days, but you got to push through those tough times. You got to push through those challenging times. And I think of life, I think of my business like the clouds. Think of the clouds, how you have the beautiful clouds. You think about the ocean, how things are always moving, right? So in order to move, you have to flow with effortless ease. You have to have a great attitude. And I want to do a quick, my idea about attitude. Are you ready for it? So the average day, you're walking down the street, you're going to work, and someone says, how you doing? You say, I'm fine. But when you're fine, that sounds kind of bad, right? I'm fine. So I say up that just a bit if you're feeling fine. How you feel? I'm feeling good. But when you're feeling good, you're really feeling fine. So let's bump that up. How you feeling? Feeling great. Okay, great's a good start. But when you're great, you're really feeling good. So me, I like to say, I am amazing. That is my tagline, because when you're amazing, you're great, you're up there. Maybe you're amazing, maybe you're fantastic, maybe you're extra. I don't know, but you want to get up. All right, because your attitude has to be so empowering, so impactful. It makes people just want to climb and come and do everything that you want to do. I remember, guys, when I was younger, I used to dance at bar mitzvahs. If you've never been to a bar mitzvah, just think of it as a big old party. And I was a dancer at these bar mitzvahs, and my job was to keep the crowd entertained, to keep the crowd happy. I was like cheering for the kids, you know, teaching them dances. And I remember when I was getting trained for this, they said, whatever you do, the audience is going to do half of that. And that really stuck in my head. So if you're clapping your hands and you clap your hands like this, people may do this. So when I clap hands, it's like, hey, let's go, let's go. So if I'm screaming like that, you have no choice but to feel like, okay, I got to pick up my energy just a bit. So your attitude has to be amazing. And the people you surround yourself with, which leads to tip number 6. Your vibe is your tribe. You will probably hear me say this every single day of my life. Your vibration. What is your vibration doing right now? Just kind of do this with me. Come on, Wendy. Come on, Renee. Flicker it. Let me see. Flick that negative energy. Yes, Wendy, I see you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Getting rid of that negative energy, guys. What was I talking about? Your vibe, yes. Sorry, I got a quick brain freeze. Your vibe is your tribe, who you're surrounding yourself with, your people. They have your same energy. That's tip number 6. And the last tip, guys, are the morning rituals. So if you want, I'm going to attach somewhere in here so you can watch it later, a free ebook that I came up with, which has my morning and my evening rituals, because you got to have some type of morning routine. I'm not saying to do what I do. I'm not telling what you should do. I'm just telling you what I do, and that works for me. And guess what, guys? It's always changing. I wish I did all of my morning rituals. Sometimes I do them all. Sometimes I do more. Sometimes I do less. So the first thing I like to say is when you first wake up in the morning, take a little time for yourself and just be silent. And what are you doing in that silence? Well, whatever you want to do. Maybe you're praying. Maybe you're meditating. Maybe you're just thinking about the night before. I don't care. Just be a little bit silent and just let your mind just sit in that moment. Another thing you want to do, super important, guys, are your affirmations. What are your affirmations? I'm amazing. I'm strong. I have an abundance of money. I have an abundance of time. But I not only want you to say them, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it in your heart. I want you to feel it in your soul, and all the goals and things that you want, guys. I want you to have something to help you anchor it into your soul. You may see me wear this necklace all the time. I've had this on for over 6 years now. When my son was murdered, someone gave my daughter and I one of these as a gift. And I've never, I did take it off once because it got super tangled. But this anchors me into my why, into my I am statements. This is what keeps me focused. Maybe you have a rock. Maybe you have an earring. Maybe you have a stone. Also, these bracelets, you'll notice I'm always wearing some type of chakra infused bracelet, ring, colors. My nails right now, I don't know if you can actually see them, are the colors of chakras, because I want to be grounded and focused. So first, have silence. Number 2, your I am statements. And number 3, movement, exercise. I don't care what you're doing, guys, but in the morning, get up, go for a walk, even if you're just stretching. And if you're watching this right now, I want to invite you to my online fitness classes. Every morning, 6 a.m., we have some sort of class going. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's strength classes. Tuesdays and Thursday, it's cardio. If you have a bike, great, jump on the bike. If not, you can walk. And then Saturday is total fun. Yes, we have evening classes, we have yoga, we have midday classes, but move your body at some point in time. That's the third thing. Number 4, gratitude, having a journal. Journaling is so important. Again, another thing I wish I did all the time, but just writing down what you're simply grateful for. And for me, every morning when I'm teaching a class, I say, okay, guys, what are we grateful for? Right now, Wendy, Renee, you get to go first. I want you to tell me something that you think of every day that you're grateful for. And for me, I am always grateful for the people that are around me because they keep me going. Renee, what would you say is something that you're grateful for every day?
You just hit the nail on the head. It's my circle of friends that truly care about me, because when you have that circle, even if it's a small circle, you can do anything because they lift you up and empower you and want you to be the best version of yourself. So
I love that. I love that. What about you, Wendy? I'm not sure if you're able to speak. What would you say that you consistently say that you're grateful for?
Yeah, I kind of right now I'm incredibly grateful for years that are open the weekend. But and it's just I'm totally crazy about dogs, and I'm so grateful I've got a couple crazy ones in my life. And it's crazy people too, but yeah, those dogs can get me moving when nothing can get me moving. So
I love it. Now, here's a question for you, because Renee is a dog person too. You said you have 4 dogs, Wendy?
3.
6.
And
I keep threatening to get a puppy.
Oh my gosh. I'm not a dog person, so I don't know how it works. I actually did have a puppy for my kids, but no one would ever walk the dog. Like, he would poop. He was cute. His name was Prince, and he would poop all over the house. They taught him how to talk. Don't tell me how you get a dog to talk, but they taught him how to talk. And the pooping, the bathroom, how often do you have to walk your dog, Wendy or Renee? I'm just curious how that works.
I take mine to the park and walk them at least twice a day.
Okay. And I think Wendy had to get off screen. So the point of that whole thing is, what are you grateful for? And if you don't want to say it every day, then write it down in a journal. That's super important. And the last tip I want to give here, guys, oh my gosh, this is the most important one. Leaders are readers. As a leader, I noticed the more I read, the more I got in tune with personal development. It just made my business skyrocket. And maybe you don't have time to read. Listen to an ebook, listen to YouTube videos. Those are my 7 tips on how I grew my business by 500%. Whew, I can't even believe it now that I'm thinking about it. It just makes me want to focus even more, because there's so many things that I could have done, which I'm going to start doing. For example, reach outs. A lot of my business grew by word of mouth, which is, they always say the best for marketing and publicity is word of mouth and testimonials. So now what I'm going to do to get to the next percentage of growth is doing reach outs. Okay. And I've heard from many people, whatever number, let's just say I want to get 1 to 2 new clients. Well, I'm going to have to reach out to about 100. Out of the 100 people that I reach out to, I'll get about 25 to reply. And out of those 25, I'll actually be able to talk to, have a conversation, have a face-to-face with about 5. And out of those 5, I'll get 1 to 2 new clients. So that's what I'm going to do moving forward to get new clients. I didn't do that in the past, because in the past I was just like, okay, I'm just going to post, I'm going to do this. I want to pull someone on the screen right now. She is pretty amazing. As I mentioned before, when I started my business, it was just me. And Renee, who you see right there on the screen, she was one of my clients, and she was starting her health and wellness journey. I was teaching spin at the time. And whoever I'm teaching, guys, it doesn't matter where I am, I'm always looking to help and support and make you have the best experience ever. And her experience wasn't looking too good in the spin studio, guys. She was looking out of breath. She was looking like she was in a lot of pain. And if you've ever taken spin before, it hurts your private parts, it may hurt your heart, whatever. And she came a lot. So I really wanted to make sure she enjoyed it. So I gave her some tips and advice. And then afterwards, she thanked me. And then she said something else to me. And I said, would you like a one-on-one discovery call so that I can support you on your fitness goals? We had our conversation. And I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. How serious are you? And she said, a 10. And I said, okay, well, if you're a 10, this is what you want to do. And what I told her is what I did. All right. To be honest, I'm not sure. She may have possibly done the same as what I did, or maybe even more, because I didn't have a personal trainer. So I trained her with personal training. She took classes 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. She worked out. She did everything I did with nutrition. And then from there, it got a little bit deeper. And in order to build your business, you can't do it alone, guys. Okay, let me take that back. You can do it alone, but you're not going to grow trying to do it alone. And Renee just had this thing in her heart and she wanted to support me. And I'm going to open up the mic, let Renee speak, one, as to why she decided to join on. And when she came on, she was that outside picture that I never really had. So she was outside looking in, and then she was inside saying, okay, we need to do this, we need to do this. She kept me super accountable. Well, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to grow. And together, the two of us started doing things. For example, Canva. If you guys know anything, you need great designs. All right. You need great marketing. You need great publicity. You need great ideas. You need all this stuff. And with her and I together, we just kind of grew it together, and that's how we got here. So Renee, if you would like to share anything you would like to, and then Wendy, if you have questions, otherwise, Renee.
Yeah, so the first thing that made me want to do whatever I could to support Elite Stars is that you actually showing that simple act of kindness of helping me when I was going to the spin studio, because I had been going for months. And when I started attending your classes, that's when you reached out to me. So that was the first sign. And then it was when, you told me what Elite Stars and you could do with the personal training. And so, yeah, I mean, you helped me. It wasn't just the loss of, what is it now? Oh, like over 60 pounds and tons of inches. It was the growth in my confidence and my whole mindset and being able to live my life and overcoming various things that had happened in my past and know that they didn't define me. So that was very important to me, that you cared enough about me to want me to grow and be the best I could be. And you didn't want anything in return other than to see me be my best. So that was the number one thing. And then just in general, what your vision was and is for Elite Stars, that was the second thing. And as you were speaking, it's ironic because I'm thinking about this, it just finally clicked. Because I can be emotional when I start talking about Elite Stars. And I was thinking, that is how I know that I am doing what I'm meant to do, because you always say your why should be so intense that it makes you cry. So that today, it just clicked when I was waiting to speak. So.
Wow. Isn't it crazy how you can hear something over and over and over again, and then finally it clicks one day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. Wendy, I know that you don't have a business, but you have your dogs, and taking care of dogs can be a business, which I certainly think so, because that seems like a lot of work. Would you like to add anything to the conversation, or do you have any questions?
No, I really don't. It's kind of fun to hear some of the stuff I'm already doing applied to businesses. Because I never thought of it that way. Running your house the same way you run a business, but in a lot of ways it is.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And so, okay, so I got one for you. I have a question for you, Wendy, because you just made me think of something. She said the way you run your house is how you run your business. And it's so true. The way someone's house looks and feels. Can you give us some tips? Because your house is a business. How it looks, how it feels, what you're producing out of it, what you're putting into it. Can you share with us perhaps something that you do that can help us grow our business that's made your house successful? I know, tough question.
Yeah, well, no, actually, where I'm sitting right now, because we took a shed down a couple of years ago, right before the pandemic. So everything got dumped in the back room, and then we couldn't get a builder to move because everything was shut down, and then the supplies weren't available, and we finally got the shed up, and I'm trying to get that back room cleaned out. And I'm not the greatest housekeeper in the world, guys. Let's be honest. And right now, I'm working really hard to get the whole mess cleaned up because it kind of feels like there's so much of the old running around in my life that I'm not ready to step forward and hit the new until I deal with the old.
Yes.
So right now, and I mean, I'm not killing myself. I'm working, but yeah, like next weekend, I'm going to be at a keto thing. So I'm not going to be working out it next weekend. I'm blowing the popsicle stand. But I'm trying every day I get off to, one load or one job, trying to get each thing done one thing at a time. So yeah, I can get things. Yeah, it just feels like right now my current life is drowning in my old life, and I've got to get that cleaned up and so I can move on. Seems to be step one right now.
Wendy, that touched me so much. And the reason is because it's very challenging for me to do new things, like you just said, without the old things getting completed. It's like, okay, there's so many things I want to do, but like, okay, is this finished? Is this cleaned up? And so that was a good one right there. I had to write that down, completing one thing before you move on. And in business, you think about it, if you're growing, let's just say your Instagram or growing your Facebook, well, do you have that finished first and then moving forward? So thank you so much for that share. That helped me a lot. Really good. So Renee, you want to add anything before I wrap up with my conclusion in regards to growing businesses? Maybe something you do in your personal life or your personal health and wellness journey that helped you get to where you were, to where you want to be, that can add value to us?
So the personal and wellness, the health and wellness journey is just staying consistent. And I've said this often that it all starts with the mindset for me. And I never look at it as something I have to do. It's something that I want to do because I have realized the benefits and I know that there's more, right? So it's like going on a treasure hunt. It's like, what's next, right? So, it's all about staying consistency and looking at it as something you want to do.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. And in conclusion, guys, I'm just going to wrap it up with the 7 tips. If you're watching this at this point in time today, I was talking about mindset and morning rituals, how important these 2 things are when it comes to growing your business. In the past year, I've grown my business over 500%. And when I realized this, I was like, wow, I need to share. So that's what today was all about. Tip number 1 is decide not to quit no matter what. Number 2, make a plan in regards to what you want. Tip number 3, consistency. 4, what is your why? Why do you want to do this? Tip number 5, attitude. Always pushing through, having the best attitude there is. Number 6, where's your morning rituals? What you're doing in the morning. And I went through a bunch of different things for that right there. And number 6, your tribe. 7, your tribe, the energy that you surround yourself with. If you got this far into the video or into the Zoom and you're like, I want some more, Tina, I would like some advice for my business, hit me up, DM me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Wendy, thank you so much for coming through. Renee, thank you for coming through. Anyone there in YouTube land or Zoom land, thank you, thank you. That's it, unless you guys have any more to add. All right, bye guys. See ya, see ya, see ya.